Hello and Randy here playing Farming Simulator 22 on Westbridge Hills, our 10-year anniversary revisit here on the map. And since last episode, been busy harvesting here again. We got a little bit more corn to harvest here yet. Well, actually, I guess maybe quite a bit more corn to harvest here yet. Again, we're running the Fendt Ideal 70 here this episode, at least for starters. We'll probably do some other work here this episode as well, like starting replanting a couple of the other fields. Which reminds me, I think I need to rehire the worker on, yes, we'll get the hired worker going on field 16 here as well. That is our wheat field. Got maybe what, a small, like a third, I guess. Third of that field harvested. 17 is completely done here already. And yes, obviously since last episode, when we finished up the sugarcane, I've also re-fertilized that sugarcane field as well. Although I think it needs one more time yet. Apparently when you harvest it, it takes all the fertilizer away. So... and it also needs to be plowed, which obviously we're not going to do that, because if we plow it, then obviously the sugarcane won't regrow. Which, I mean, to be honest, that might be a good thing. Probably wouldn't necessarily be complaining about that, but we'll fill up here, and we'll go get the other combine going, and then I figure we'll probably do a little bit of corn harvesting ourselves here. We haven't had a chance to run this combine ourselves yet, so here's our opportunity. And, of course, speaking of this combine, we got to mention the obvious... absence of something here in the middle, right? Where is the steering wheel, right, Evan? There's no steering wheel in this combine. And yes, Evan, this is actually the way you can get these combines. I'm not sure if any other combine manufacturers are doing this yet or not. I think this might just be a Fendt thing. But instead of a steering wheel, Evan, it's joystick driven. So you got obviously kind of your normal joystick over here, although I'm sure this joystick probably does a little bit more than like if you have a steering wheel, right? And then as far as I think this is the one you actually steer with. So like as far as like turning, that would be this joystick here. And then this one, of course, your drive and all your other functions on this one. So that's basically how it works. So yeah, instead of a steering wheel one, you got joysticks. Think of it a little bit more like your construction equipment. Obviously, a lot of construction equipment, everyone comes with just joysticks. You don't have your normal steering wheel in a lot of that equipment. And a couple different reasons for that. Probably, some of it has to do with this, the functions of the machine, right? If you got a steering wheel, you don't have the functions like you need with a steering wheel versus a joystick. And, a joystick, you can throw a lot more functions on that, right? And then also ergonomics as well. And, again, we'll meant to put the pipe out. There we go. Obviously, it depends who you listen to on that one, everyone. The ergonomics of... just using joysticks in the steering wheel, apparently the joysticks are better. So, again, if you're spending, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 hours in a combine, everyone, obviously at that point, ergonomics play a little bit of a role, right? You're going to want your combine to be as comfortable and ergonomic as possible to use. Avoid any strain, or minimize the strain anyway. Ooh, that trailer full? Apparently that trailer is full. Okay, well then. Guess we'll send that tractor off. I wonder if I can do that. Will you drive down to the mill for us? And actually, make it? Oh, let's see once here. So we need to go, I think we're taking this to the grain mill, right? Set destination. Go to, driving to target. Okay. You should be able to drive right from the field here, I would think, right? Okay, and before we head back to the combine here, let's head over to our other combine on 16. Hire the worker. Oh, you're almost full too, aren't you? Okay, well. And also, I noticed this field's going to need lime after this, isn't it? Cool. That means we probably broke something when we did that... messing around last time, because I'm pretty sure lime-wise this field shouldn't have needed lime, because I think 16 and 17 were both together, if I remember correctly. Oh, well. Price to pay for, I won't technically call what we did cheating, everyone. The hired worker obviously missed a large section of the field there, and playing around with the developer tools, see if we can fix it. Yes, indeed, you can. Technically, we could fix the lime, too, if we wanted to, but... we'll just spread lime on it. Good enough. Okay, back to harvesting here. We'll see how far we can make it here before we fill up here again. See if the tractor can make it back here in time. I doubt it. I doubt it, especially with its driving it. Maybe if I was driving them, maybe we would have a chance. Well, no, probably not. Because those gravity wagons, I'm going to take a little bit of time to unload. They are not particularly quick at the unload there, if you ask me. A little slow there, especially, in my opinion, for a gravity wagon anyway. I don't know, maybe the mod author might be thinking to it, because typically if you're unloading a gravity wagon, a lot of times you're probably unloading it into something. You're probably not maybe unloading it into a pit. So if you're unloading into like an auger or a belt or something like that, that is going to be your slowdown, not necessarily the gravity wagon. You know, again, with those gravity wagons, I mean, you can crank them things open pretty wide typically, and yeah, you can unload a lot of grain real quick. Real quick. So quiet in the cab of this combine here. Okay, probably not the great. Whoop, missed the stalk. Missed the stalk. Oh, don't tell our field quality manager about that one, everyone. He's probably still recovering from what he's seen on field 16 there. Wonder if he's out of the hospital on that one yet. Oh my goodness, speaking of missing, what in the world? Okay, we better go over here and check what's going on. What is up with, oh my goodness, really? What's up with that missing strip now? I'm telling you, folks, these hired workers. One of these days, I'll learn my lesson on this map. I'm just start using course play for everything. That'll fix some of this silliness, probably. I mean, let's actually, you know, like unload it in the trailer. That would be preferable here. Not on the ground. Speaking of on the ground, is that tractor there yet? Oh, he's okay. He's gonna get stuck over here again. Okay, then. Apparently that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Can't quite make the turn there, huh, buddy? Well. Had that problem last time, for those who remember. Got stuck in the exact same spot last time. Now, there's probably a few things I could do about that one, maybe. Which are tempting, that one. Maybe just, you know, remove that vehicle from the map. Might have to look into see if that is a possibility or not. Sometimes you can't remove stuff, and most of the time you can, but every so often you run into something with the map hider mod that just you can't remove certain things, unfortunately. Okay, we'll just stop him and finish driving in there myself a minute. And as a reminder again here, what seems to work pretty good, Evan, have the rear trailer. Oh, we're not, what, really? Oh, there we go. Ramp there. We couldn't quite make it up, huh? Have the rear trailer selected. And as soon as you hit the unload for it, obviously start loading. And then switch to the front one. And hopefully we can get both of them unloaded at the same time. Again, obviously doubling our unload rate. Which, again, at least for these particular trailers, Evan, yeah, kind of good, right? Almost done unloading. I'm on front one. There we go. Okay. And I'll probably just have the hired worker see if he can drive back to the field for us, that one. And that again. I don't know what we keep hitting there, everyone. Some sort of invisible object there. Just, I don't know, something with a ramp maybe, or who knows. Who knows? We had that at the bale cell point. at, oh, what is the facility? Not that one there. It's the one behind it. I forget the name of that one down there. Had that same issue there on that ramp, too. Every time I went to sell the bales, I'd get stuck on that ramp as well. And yeah, don't know why, but just every single time you get stuck. Okay, hired worker. Let's set destination. I'm going to bet I'm going to get full down here somewhere. So let's just drive down there. Yeah, I was going to get worried there. Like, why are you driving towards the building? We doing okay over here? Yep. Okay, GPS locked on yet? Away we go. Harvesting 12 rows at a time here, by the way. Not bad for a little ideal 7T there. I don't know if the, well, that's what the game recommended, Evan, so I'm just assuming Giants is probably somewhat correct in the fact that a 7T could probably handle a 12-row head. Sounds a little big for this combine, if you ask me, but maybe. And I've said this before, too, Evan, like when it comes to the head size on the combine, it's not so much whether or not the combine can handle it. It's more probably dependent on what kind of speed you want to do in the field. You know, put a bigger head on it, probably go a little bit slower. Put a smaller head, go faster. You know, got the trade-off there. Which one do you prefer, right? And for those who wonder, as far as I know, like most farmers probably prefer the go a little bit faster option. You know, so buy the 8T or the 9T, put a 12-row head on it, and go you know, a mile or two faster, right? Wow, those are some mighty large-looking corn kernels there. Impressive. Should be able to get top dollar for those, right, everyone? And, of course, once we're done harvesting on this field here, we'll need to plow this field and then work on replanting all the rest of the fields here as well. Of course, we'll need to lime on field 16 there. I'm not entirely sure what we're all going to replant here yet. Probably should look into maybe we'll do that next episode of one. Again, I keep talking about the second tier of factories. Maybe they start looking into buying at least one or two of them just so we know what products we might need next. So that way I know what to plant here. Again, the corn, I'm just taking that to the flour mill. Do we need it? You know, that's where it's going, right? Oh, we now have canola oil being produced. And I thought we had something else too, right? What else do we got here? Yes, canola oil is being produced. Oh, here we go. There it is. I was just saying, okay. Wow, we got a whopping 5 gallons so far. 5 gallons. Corn flour. Oh, yeah, sugar. That was the other one. And then we also have sugar being produced. And also recyclable trash, which I'm not entirely sure what to do with that. Oh, we're not quite full yet. Is our tractor here yet, by the way? Because we are close to being full. Oh, actually he is. Wow, would you look at that? Okay, I should have probably had him drive down the field just a little bit further there. I don't think we're going to quite make it that far. And wow, I'm doing a horrible job lining up here, aren't I? Oh well, might be some more missing stalks down at this end. Just don't tell our field quality manager about it, one. Takes his job very seriously, he does, you know. And we are full. Almost 500 bushels in this combine, by the way. 485. Quite a bit of bushels for, again, I'm assuming this is supposed to be a Class 7 machine, Evan. Usually that's how manufacturers name their equipment, so I'm just assuming that the ideal 7T is a Class 7. The 9 is a Class 9, and the 10 is a Class 10 as far as I know, so I would assume that follows the same logic with the 7 and the 8. Oh, and I noticed too with this combine, one of the things I like about this combine, I mean, you can actually see... Where'd the pipe go? I thought it was out. You can actually see the pipe from the cab here. Now, how good of a job I can do at lining up? Kind of hard to get a judge on the distance here, isn't it? Kind of hard to judge your distance, you know, on a flat 2D screen, right, Evan? Oh, apparently I'm too far away now. There we go. That'll work. But yeah, at least we can see it from the cab here on this one, Evan. Obviously, with the case combine, you can't actually see the pipe looking out the cab. Now, I'm sure in real life, I mean, you could probably like lean forward a little bit and see it. But at least in the game here, Evan, that's not really an option. So... Gonna turn up the volume just a little bit on that there. Seems a little quiet. Oh, seems like the Ideal has a pretty good unload speed here as well when we're almost done unloading already. Almost 500 bushels. I think this unloads quicker than the gravity wagons do. Seems a little wrong. Probably because it is. And as a farmer that owns gravity wagons, I'm probably kind of doing it the way you would do it in real life here. You know, just got the one person here running the combine. You just park the gravity wagon somewhere in the field where you can access them easily. And once you're full, you just drive the combine to the gravity wagons. Speaking of gravity wagons, I just should probably check. Yeah, that combine is full. Just happened to think of that. That 80% message popped up here a few moments ago, didn't it? Whoops. Oh, speaking of the wheat, by the way, this will probably go down to the flour mill as well. Keep producing the flour. Okay, that'll probably fill that front gravity wagon up, I'm guessing. There we go. So one thing about this combine, we can unload this combine 5 times before we need to unload the gravity wagons. With the Fendt there, twice, more or less, you can go 3, but the third time you're not going to unload very much before, before the gravity wagons are full. A little bit bigger tank here. I mean, technically, too, these are both supposed to be, what, Class 7 machines, right? K7150. Class 7, and the Ideal 7T is also supposed to be a Class 7, like as far as I know anyway. One. Assuming the numbers follow like the rest of them do anyway. And like we mentioned a few episodes back, what determines the class of a combine is the horsepower. Doesn't really have much else to do anything else to my knowledge of one. Like, you know, maybe the Ideal or the case for that matter could have more threshing capacity. Still related to the horsepower. Put a bigger hopper on this one. Yeah, it's still a Class 7 machine, that one. Related to the horsepower, not necessarily maybe the threshing capacity or the hopper capacity on them. Seems like that would be more relevant to me, but... oh well, it is what it is. I'm not the one that came up with the class of combines. Okay, let's head over to the comment section here in a moment and see what you folks had to say here for last episode. And just a reminder here before I read the comments, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to do so. Always very much appreciated. And of course, once you are subscribed, don't forget to turn on your notifications. Get notified of the next latest, greatest Westbridge Hills episode going live. And don't worry, there shouldn't be any sugarcane harvesting coming up here in the next couple episodes, I wouldn't think. Starting off with the first comment here. Mason was saying, maybe you should try an older, smaller grain cart for the series. Something so you don't have to babysit the combine all the time. You can change your units of measure for the unit convert mod as well. He says, awesome video. Keep up the hard work. Well, hey, thank you very much for that. It's actually not a bad idea. We could get a small little grain cart. Just leave the gravity wagons parked in the field here. Have Courseplay run some grain cart duty for us. Definitely a good idea there. Especially when we're running multiple combines like this. And then also, as far as the unit convert mod, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with the unit convert mod, Evan. What does happen, though, and I forget, is it this one? Yeah, see, I think when we go to this screen, Evan, then it changed. Yeah, now everything's in liters. So as soon as you go to this screen, Evan, and I don't know why, but as soon as you go to this one, it breaks the unit convert mod. So again, the unit convert mod should be converting everything over from liters to like bushels and gallons and tons and all that good stuff, right? But then, yeah, as soon as you go to the commodity screen here, then everything goes right back to liters. And until you restart the game, you're not going to get your unit convert mod back. Petro was saying, good video. I find that Giants have changed something with AI workers here in Farming Simulator 22. In Farming Simulator 19, you can make 2 passes for a headland, and the workers will be fine. Now in FS22, if you do more than 1 head row, the worker will stop and not move. Yeah, I think Giants needs to maybe like go back to the drawing board on their hired worker, everyone. Or maybe like Giants needs to try the hired worker themselves and realize, oh, maybe we need to do some work on this, because yeah, hired workers in this game are exceptionally derpy. Kyle was saying, I don't think I've ever used those J&M carts, but watching you use them, I think I'm going to give them a try. Hey, they work pretty good, and at least if you ask me, Evan, as far as like an American farm goes, they look a whole lot better than some of those European trailers and carts that are in the game, right, Evan? Before you obviously, step up to the great big grain trailers. Great big, hopper bottoms. And technically, I mentioned this last episode as well, but like 2 gravity wagons, at least of the size we have anyway, will actually hold more than a single hopper bottom will. So, again, we're, I forget if it's 13 or 1400 bushel there in the gravity wagons versus, again, typically your normal hopper bottom. At least if the capacity is right in the game anyway, is going to be right around that 1,000 bushel mark. Christopher was saying, good video. Keep it up. Hey, thank you very much for that. Farmer Johnson was saying, sugarcane farmer. Nope. I prefer not to be a sugarcane farmer. Lewis was saying, downloading the mods for joining your server. Still won't let me join because some mods are still missing. Yeah, I don't know if this is the best place to address that issue or not, but typically if that happens, just make sure you hit the replace mods, because you might be copying over ones you already have. We do run some custom versions of some mods on our server, so if you already have that mod, you need to replace it with the one we're running on the multiplayer server. For those of you, familiar playing multiplayer here with this game, when it comes to mods, I mean, you need to have the exact same version that the server does. Why Giants doesn't incorporate some sort of download feature of the game at this point, I don't know, but they don't. So the way it works, Evan, is you have to download the mods from the server. Now, it's not that hard, in my opinion. You just hit the download all button, and it'll download all of them, but you have to download it from the server page rather than through in the game. Unless, of course, you have mods that are on the official mod hub. Evan, if you have the mods that are on the official mod hub, then it will download the mods from there. Sometimes. That doesn't necessarily always work either, but it's what it's supposed to do, right? As a reminder, by the way, if you'd like to join us in on the multiplayer server, by the way, you're welcome to do so. That information, again, down below in the description here of this video. Again, we ask that you please join us in on the RDAllen Teamspeak server. Again, that RDAllen Teamspeak server information is down below. Oh, it's so close to being finished, Evan. Like, a couple stocks left. It's like 2 or 3 sets of stocks left there yet. Oh, well, it is what it is, right? Let's go unload. Oh, and going back to Lewis's comment there, too. If you're struggling with that, just ask us on TeamSpeak there. We'll be sure to try to give you all the assistance we can on getting that issue sorted. And like I said, I'm sure it's probably because when you move the mods over, you need to make sure that you replace the mods. Because again, we're running some custom versions of certain ones, and if you already have it, you need to replace it with the one we have on our multiplayer. Okay, finish filling that trailer up. Hey, look at that. Actually got it on the first try there. Lining up with the gravity wagon. How well did we do? Actually, not bad, Evan. Not bad. We're not like really close to one or the other edge. Like I said before, Evan, looking at it on like a flat monitor screen here, it is kind of hard to tell. Like, am I lined up? It's unloading, apparently. Speaking of unloading, probably should check the other combine. Oh, what do we got left? Looks like maybe 2, maybe 3 passes. We'll come back next episode, Evan, and start working on replanting all our fields here. And then, as I mentioned, too, hopefully maybe we'll look at purchasing another factory here. Might have to borrow a little bit of money for that. I was kind of hoping to avoid that. I'm going to, like, skip a couple days here to get some money, but might just borrow the money. We should have some more left to borrow yet, I would think. And then we can get another factory there, start making up also bread or restaurant, something. We'll look at what our options are. Nice thing about that, I can just leave right away. That combine will finish unloading itself there. And we'll keep harvesting the corn. Well, I've been looking at the time here. I think it's about time to wrap it up here for this episode. So with that, you folks have any comments and or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And as always, Evan, thanks for watching. Until next time.